Darling, all right, come on.
No, look out, dear, look out. Ridiculous nonsense, this modern rushing traffic. The early days of motoring, I used to drive down to Brighton.
All right, darling, all right. Now's your chance, quick.
Good heavens. You were nearly under that bus. Come back. Come back. Me heart disease.
You see, darling, you funk it. All you've got to do is, well, just cross over.
Just cross over? Yes, just cross over, yes. All I've got to do is to take a taxi over. And by Jove, I've a good mind to do it if it weren't for my nerves. I mean, if I didn't detest the inside of a motor car even more than the outside.
Oh, the older generation. You dear old stick. Did you see that it's much easier to drive from one end of Piccadilly to the other than to pedestrianize across it?
Yes, perhaps.
And it's a bit hard that your nervousness prevents us from having a car at all.
Nervousness? Who said anything about nervousness? I'm not nervous. I'm not made of money.
Well, good cars are quite cheap nowadays.
Good cars may be, but what about good chauffeurs?
I can drive. And anyway, the best people drive themselves nowadays.
What? You're going to suggest that I should drive? Don't talk nonsense. Come along.
Stop! Quick! Ow!
Hello, fancy seeing you.
Hello, Jack.
You appear to know this young man.
Yes, I met him at a dance somewhere. Good job in the motoring business.
How did you do?
Awfully sorry if I scared you, sir.
Oh, not at all.
Can I give you a lift?
Hey, well,
Where are you going?
Well, as a matter of fact, we were going to the station to catch a train.
Going home.
Right. I'll take you home.
No, I couldn't get it. It's 30 miles.
That's quite all right, sir. It's a pleasure.
Eh?
Come on, darling, get in.
No, I detest
No, it's quite all right. Here it is. It's safe.
Keep. Don't know the man. Goodness, he won't get hanging into something. Don't go too fast, please.
This is top gear. Pretty good getaway, isn't it?
Top gear. You can flip that clutch then, all right?
Oh, there's no clutch to worry about. This is the BSA, with Daimler fluid flywheel transmission. You can stop in gear with the engine running just by putting on the brake.
Good brakes, I hope.
Fine.
It's fascinating. How do you do it?
Daimler fluid flywheel.
Yes, but how?
Well, it's very simple, really, but rather difficult to explain. First, you see, the engine doesn't drive this car through any actual mechanical connection like the old-fashioned clutch. The Daimler fluid flywheel instead. Now try to imagine it. The Daimler fluid flywheel consists of only two parts. There's the driving member, which is bolted to a casing on the engine crankshaft. The case is nearly full of oil. The driven member is contained within the case. It is attached to a shaft which drives through to the gearbox and so to the rear axle. Now imagine in the face of each member a series of cup-shaped pockets. When the engine turns, the oil is flung outwards in the driving member and by the shape of the pockets, forwards against the driven member. It swings round the pockets of the driven member back towards the centre of the wheel. Thence it is immediately thrown outwards again. But owing to the rotation of the driving member, the stream of oil is given a sideways impulse and enters towards the rim of the driven member, a pocket further round the circle than that which it left at the centre. Thus the oil stream tends to take up the form of a complete spiral stream around the wheel. As the engine speed increases, the velocity of the oil spurting from the driving to the driven member increases. By the means of the spiral effect, momentum is given to the driven member till eventually the two are revolving at approximately the same speed. They're in fact coupled together by the spiral of oil, which is moving so rapidly as to be almost rigid.
Do you know, Jack, I believe I understand that. But there's one thing I don't see. After all, it's only a stream of liquid that turns the driven half. Well, why doesn't that one sort of lag behind the other?
Under certain conditions it does. Now watch this. I put the brake on. Here we are, drawn up, with the engine ticking over, the car standing still, in gear. It's lagging behind altogether.
Poor dear. He does get so bored when people talk cars.
Really?
Never mind, go on.
Well then, I take the brake off and press down the accelerator. Till there comes a point when the force of the oil stream is enough to turn the driven member against the resistance of the standing car. Look. Now, we're off. The acceleration is better than with the old rigid transmission because the slip allows the engine to speed up and give it full turning power right from the start. Now you see, the faster we go, the less slip between the two members there is. At normal running speed, you can't detect it. It has no effect upon the petrol consumption or maximum speed or anything like that. Just think of the advantages it gives you when you want it. Now you watch this again. Brakes on. You see? No transmission shocks, either stopping or starting. And as the slip is fluid and not mechanical, there's no wear and tear from it. If you're feeling lazy, you can drive through the traffic in London from one end to the other by just putting your brake on when you want to stop and treading on the accelerator to go on. Now you take over. You drive, of course.
Oh, very little, I'm afraid.
All the better. Less of the old clutch slipping, gear grinding habits to unlearn. Select your first gear.
Like that?
That's right. Now engage it. Left foot on the pedal. That's right. Down, up. See? You don't have to slip it. The fluid flywheel looks after the shocks.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't accelerate. No, not yet. You won't stop the engine. Now, handbrake off first. That's right. Now accelerate. Off she goes. Now, pre-select your next gear.
Oh, I think I'll stay in bottom a bit till I'm used to it.
That's all right, but pre-select your next gear, ready for when you want to change. Nothing will happen until you engage it.
No, of course, I forgot. This is as easy as can be.
Good heavens, you're not allowing your daughter of mine to drive?
Well, that's all right, sir. This car would be safe in the hands of a child.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, well, the gearbox is foolproof and self-changing. But that doesn't mean that you can't show your skill if you want to. You can't do a bad change. You can do extra special good ones. Why, you can change gears so that no one else in the car would know that you've done it.
Indeed.
So they absolutely couldn't feel it or hear it. Silent gearbox, of course. Now try change now. Pre-select third.
How?
Pre-select third. Look. Now, keep the accelerator down while you engage it. That's it. Down, up. No double the clutching, you see. In fact, the fluid flywheel halves the footwork in driving.
I say, look at Pa. I've never known him take a scrap of interest in driving before. Oh, Lord.
No, that's not the clutch. Now take your foot off again. Now, in an emergency, there's only one thing to remember, and that's the brake.
Wind up, Pa?
Wind up? Aye? Certainly not.
You see, the fluid flywheel makes it infinitely flexible.
Evidently.
I say, Jack, how beautifully she rides. This is more of a plowed field than a road, you know.
Good, isn't it?
Here we are.
Now leave her in top till she stalls.
But, Jack, this is terribly steep. She'll run backwards.
No, she won't. Now keep the accelerator down, and she'll hold on the engine without using the brakes at all.
This fluid flywheel is quite incredible.
Now select first. Take it away.
Come in and have a spot, Jack.
Wait for me. Confounded cheek.
You know, it's lovely, that little BSA car of yours. I must persuade Father to get...
I think he's more than half persuaded already. Where is he? Isn't he going to join us in a drink?
Oh, maybe or maybe not. Don't let's worry about him.
Good.
You know, somehow or other, I've just got to raise enough cash to get one of those little BSA saloons.
It's a jolly little sports four-seater coupe. You might like that even better.
Must raise it, simply must.
Jolly well hope you do raise it. I say, Betty,
Yeah?
what about us getting engaged?
Oh, but we hardly know each other.
I know, but I thought we might get to if we were engaged. What, don't you like me?
Yes, I like you. But Pa would put his foot down.
Can but try. Let's go and ask him.
All right.
Heavens, my car's gone.
Well, but it's absurd. We haven't even got a moment. Who could have taken it?
Car thief, I suppose.
Well, not here. We're miles away from anywhere.
I know. Your father.
Oh, impossible. He wouldn't dare to drive nowadays, even in the country. Oh, postman.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen a little BSA car anywhere?
Biscuit colour.
Well, that's funny. As a matter of fact, I did, sir. Just now. Going round and round the common.
Round and round the common?
Yes,
Well, but sure.
Come on, I better get my bike out, I think.
Betty, what's that?
Pa!
Well driven, sir. Eh? Not bad for the first time, eh? You see, I thought as you'd gone off with my daughter, I'd go for your car.
Well, sir, it's funny you should put it like that, because Betty and I...
A remarkable little bus. You know, I've always heard this pre-selector described as such a feminine little thing. Utter rubbish.
Betty and I...
And the acceleration. Remarkable.
Please, sir, we want
To
to...
be engaged.
And the brakes.
May we, Pa?
Well, yes, certainly, certainly. As for that fluid flywheel...
Darling, will you listen to us for a moment?
Well, I know, dear. I rather expected this. And I hope you'll be very happy. I'm afraid you won't find her as easy to control as the car. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll strike a bargain with you. You take the girl, and I'll take the car. Don't you dare send me in a bill.
So we thought you put your foot down.
I did. I did. Right down. And touch 60.
In the glorious freedom of the English countryside, shaded woods and luscious bracken offer a welcome relief from the crowded streets and noisy turmoil of the city. The sandy surfaces of narrow lanes, flanked by hedgerows and made for the farmer's lumbering wagon, contrast strangely with the smooth, wide surfaces of the main highways, broad, straight arteries stretching from end to end of the land. But before we can span these inviting highways, we must go to the industrial scene, go beneath these fuming chimneys and roaring furnaces and gain some impression of the muscle and toil, labor and brains which go to the making of the modern motor car. One of the most important combines in England, involving the production of motor cars, buses, motorcycles, bicycles, tools, guns, and 101 other articles, is the group incorporating the Birmingham Small Arms, the Daimler and the Lanchester companies. Within one vast organization lies a whole manufacture from raw materials to finished product. In the smithy, drop forgings are made from tiny cycle components upwards. Cranks for cycles, frame members for motorcycles, crankshafts and front axles for cars, forged from solid billets by thundering dies. stamp and press shops, slow pressure completes the oil sump of a car engine in one operation. While here are 3 stages in the making of a wheel hub. Precision stamps out the chain wheels for bicycles from rough blanks. Links for cycle chains are stamped from sheets of metal and prepared for assembly by fingers and feet working at lightning speed. Link after link, chain after chain. All operations involving drilling and cutting demand that oil must be delivered onto the cutting face, after which it flows back through ducts to a filtering plant where it is purified and re-pumped again for further use. Welding of every description is carried out by girl workers. From a separate works, hundreds of bicycles are produced daily. All processes take their turn. Brazing, handlebar bending. Lining. Back in the main factory is the plating and polishing plant. Nickel and chromium. Everything from tiny screw heads to whole motorcycle petrol tanks. Then to the assembly lines before finally going out on test. Motorcycles and three-wheeled cars. BSA 10 horsepower cars. Gradients of 1 in 4 are easy work for every model. Even gradients of 1 in 1 can be tackled by BSA motorcycles. Here is a BSA 10 fitted with a Daimler fluid flywheel transmission. It can be held on the steepest hill by means of the throttle alone. Open the throttle and it moves on. Miles distant at Coventry lie the Daimler and Lanchester works, probably one of the most complete factories devoted solely to the production of mechanical road vehicles in the country, built up through the years since 1896. In the foundry, high-quality castings of iron, steel and aluminium are produced. Pig iron is fed into the cupola for the production of cast iron. When molten, the iron is tapped off and carried in pots to the molds. Produced in converters. While the steel is poured, a sample is taken from each melting for analysis and test in the laboratory before the castings are allowed to go further into production. Casting of aluminium is a particular feature being used for the well-known Daimler fluid flywheel. Die casting is employed for aluminium pistons. Before machining is begun, castings must be trimmed, cleaned by sand or shot. Castings are tested and carefully inspected. All parts which undergo heat treatment are tested for hardness. In the laboratory, raw materials are analyzed while samples of metals undergo various tests. The tensile test on a nickel steel bar of 1/4 of a square inch section. $15.9 tons at breaking point. To the machine shops, where row upon row of shining parts are arranged in an orderly manner beside the ever-turning machines. Operations of every kind are carried out here. Machining of fluid flywheels. Turning crankshafts. Gear cutting. Pistons are completely machined in 30 seconds. All parts are again tested before assembly. Crankshafts have to undergo accurate tests for balance. Engines of every type are assembled. The graceful double six grows up alongside the large double-deck bus unit and the small Lanchester 10. Gearboxes are built up part by part. And are assembled before test. Every stage in the test shop is checked by uniformed inspectors. All engines are thoroughly tested. At length, the engine unit is lifted off the test bed by overhead crane. And lowered into position onto the waiting chassis, ready to be built up stage by stage until ready for the road test. After the road test, the cars are finally inspected. During the whole process of production, from raw material to finished car, uniformed inspectors have watched the quality of the product. At every stage, materials, finished parts, assembled units and testing all must comply with their demands so that the final models may represent the perfect outcome of car manufacture. And so, through the labor and brains and skill of those who work in the towns, and by the vast organization which underlies this great combine of motoring interests, we are enabled to head roadwards from the city to the country. Along stretching highways, where beyond each corner lies still yet another vista of the country scene.